Hi everybody, this is Lori Pinhorn, social worker and holistic nutritionist, and I am filming today in beautiful St. Philip's, Newfoundland and Labrador in my newly renovated office space. So this is where I'm meeting with my clients who are living with anxiety and depression and attention deficit disorder, those kinds of things, individuals and families. And what I really get jazzed up about is helping people understand that when they make a shift in their nutrition, their mental health also makes a shift. So what I want to talk to you guys today about is an amazing piece of research that just came out of Australia. It was released in February. I've been wanting to do this video blog for a long time. So if you are a mental health professional or you love somebody who lives with a mental health concern, you're going to want to know about this research. I'm going to provide a link in this newsletter or blog post that helps you get directly to this piece of research. So here it is right here, and I've got it all underlined and highlighted and stuff like that. So what I want to do is talk to you guys today about this piece of research. So this is what they did. Australia does cool forward-thinking research around mental health. One day I will go there, maybe to study. I don't know. Let's just see what happens around that. But this is this piece of research. So they took a group of people who scored relatively high on a depression scale. They also scored very low on a nutritional intake scale. They divided that big group into two groups. One group got social support from a peer support person. So they were talking, about how they're actually operating in their world, and from a social support, what can we do to help? The other group got nutritional counseling. They were meeting with a dietitian. Each person in each group got 7 sessions. And in the nutrition group, they actually got a hamper with food and recipes. Now, the interesting thing about this was that the researchers who were doing the scales didn't know what person was getting what intervention. I don't even know if they knew what the interventions were, but their jobs were to just scale the scores and talk to people after and before the research. So what they realized after people went through the 12 weeks was that the group that got the nutritional support actually scored really low on their post tests on the anxiety scales and the depression scales. So a group, actually 32% of the control group, now looked like they were in remission. Now, how cool is that? And why are we excited about that number? Is because for one of the first times since nutrition and mental health has been researched, we have some hard numbers and we have a blind study. Now, there's lots of research out there that shows us that when we make nutrition adjustments, we feel better. I personally see it in my practice all the time. Families tell me, individuals tell me that, once I started to eat clean, ate more vegetables and fruit, more lean proteins, beans and peas, nice healthy oils, that yeah, I actually do feel better. But this piece of research, because it was blinded, controlled for the placebo effect. And that is really what a lot of scientists are wanting when they look at research, is control for the placebo effect. This piece of research came pretty close to doing that. It wasn't a double-blinded study. It was a single-blinded study, and so that means that some really cool things came out of that piece. So what does this mean for us in our mental health world? One of the big questions was, well, why don't we have dietitians and nutritionists on staff in treatment centers when we're helping people live better with their mental health concerns? Why don't we have a nutrition component in our clinics where we're meeting with people who are living with mental health concerns? I think that that's going to be a way of the future in the mental health world. That's what I hope and pray for. Now, when I read this research, I said, well, what was actually in that basket? I want to know. As the nutritionist in me, I want to know what's in it. So this is what was in it. I have a list right here. So there was whole grains, 100% whole grains, 5 to 8 servings a day. I personally think that's a little bit too high, but every grain they had was whole grain. They had 6 servings of vegetables in the run of a day, 3 servings of fruit, legumes 3 to 4 times a week. Now, why is legumes so helpful to your mental health? Well, one thing is that the fibers in your gut bacteria love that. The beginning of the neurology happens in your gut bacteria, and the fibers from the vegetables and the fruits your gut bacteria love. So it's no surprise to me that people were feeling better with those great fibers. People had dairy 2 to 3 times a day, unsweetened dairy, not the sugary yogurts and stuff like that. They had a serving of raw nuts a day, which is something I think is amazing for our mental health. Fish 2 to 3 times a week. Are you eating fish 2 to 3 times a week? Maybe if you're not, you should. Lean red meats, 3 to 4 servings a week. Chicken, 2 to 3 servings a week. Eggs, 6 a week. Like, I love that. I talk to people about eggs all the time. If you're not eating eggs and you are living with a mental health concern, you really should be thinking about that. Olive oil, 3 tablespoons a day. Now, if you are doing a Weight Watchers or some kind of calorically restrictive kind of way of eating, you're not allowed to eat 3 tablespoons of olive oil a day. Now, here's the other thing. People got sugary sweets. They were allowed to have them up to 3 times a week. Plus, they were allowed to have some alcohol, at least 1 glass of wine a day, if they wanted it. They didn't recommend it, but if you have wine, they hoped that it was red. So the average age of people in this study was 40 years old, so they're allowed to drink wine. So there you are. There's some of that research. That looks very much like our Canada's Food Guide. I actually think that there's even more adjustments we could do. We'd see even better numbers. And I think that if you are not having a look at your plate to see, like, can I start to use nutrition in my recovery plan? I say that to people all the time. Like, what you eat can really impact how you feel between your ears. So if you're interested in having a look at this research, there's a link somewhere here for you to just click on it. You can get your own copy of it, digest the numbers on it. There's a lot of numbers in there. I gave you sort of the Coles notes of what that research was about. So have a happy, healthy week, and I will see you next time. Bye.